Since 2019, the Uzbek government made major activities on planting saxaul trees on the dried bottom of Aral Sea. Now, the country has planted the seeds on the area of 2 million hectares, said Deputy Minister of Ecology, Environmental Protection and Climate Change of Uzbekistan, Jusubek Kazbekov, in an exclusive commentary to New Time in Tashkent. It is worth mentioning that Aral Sea crisis zone directly covers the territories of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, as well as indirectly Tajikistan and Kyrgyz Republic. And now, according to Mr. Kazbekov, to battle with climate change challenges, countries are proposing to create a joint regional environmental proposal review for the water monitoring between the states.
Until now, we had individual country environment performance reviews done every decade. So now we are proposing that we should have one general kind of regional environment performance review because we are interconnected. Yeah, we cannot act individually, and also in terms of water quality monitoring, we want to also invite other riparian countries like Kyrgyzstan or Tajikistan, and also maybe replicate or upscale the Sirdarya experience with our Kazakh partners.
Kazakhstan, for the first time commissioned by the Ministry of Culture and Information, presented the works of 7 prominent artists at the 60th Biennale in Venice, Italy. The theme of the Kazakh pavilion at the Biennale is Zheruyuk, Journey Beyond the Horizon. We asked the curator of the Kazakh pavilion about the meaning of the theme Zheruyuk and the works of the Kazakh artists. Please watch the fragment of the interview right now.
Please tell us more about our Kazakh pavilion at the Biennale.
Yes, of course. Our theme is Utopia, a look beyond the horizon. We focused on a legend that dates back to the 15th century, to such a quasi-historical hero, the character as Hasan Kayha. Hasan Kayha was a philosopher of the steppe, an advisor to the Counts Janibek and Kire. The main narrative tells the legend that Hasan Kayha was searching for the promised land throughout his life. We use this narrative as a framework, that is, as a metaphor to depict this particular story. But there are exactly 4 directions here. There are futurism, cosmism, utopianism, and spiritualism. We did a lot of research, established a chronology starting from the earliest images, from the 80s to the present days. Each generation, decade by decade, we look at the key works that could form part of such a conventional anthology of the new movement associated with futurism.
The special issue of The Reporter with President program with all interesting details and exclusive interviews from the Biennale Arte 2024 in Venice is available on our YouTube channel. And let us end this week on a musical note. Singer from Astana, Polina Khanim, is promoting Kazakh folk music among foreign audiences. Polina admits that singing the best Kazakh songs in French or translating soulful Brazilian compositions into Kazakh is her own special form of diplomacy. The singer performs in 11 languages and effortlessly blends the colors of different cultures. But for her, the music of her homeland comes first. What musical diplomacy is and why music is the most universal language of communication. Please watch an interview with Polina Khanim right now.
My name is Polina Khanim, and I'm an independent artist, singer, and musician. I perform songs in 11 languages: Kazakh, Russian, English, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, French, Arabic, Ukrainian, Polish, and I think that's all.
Я не могу сказать, что это было какое-то осознанное стратегическое решение, просто так.
I can't say it was a conscious strategic decision to sing in different languages, to deliver music of different cultures. It just happened organically. And now, looking back, I feel like there is a certain significance to it. I think it's largely connected to my background, to where I come from. I'm ethnically Russian, born and raised in Kazakhstan. Here, we're surrounded by a truly diverse cultural environment. Everything is mixed up. Kazakhs, Russians, Ukrainians, Poles, Germans, it's all blended together. And I feel like it's resonated with some inner need within me.
не испытываю сложности в моменте, в смысле, я не сижу.
I don't struggle when combining music and languages from different cultures. It all happens quite naturally. You know, at some point I realized, oh, here I am, actually playing this Kazakh folk song, and it turns out I'm doing it in the traditions of some American folk.
Мне кажется, первую народную такую традиционную
I think I performed my first traditional Kazakh folk song in school, probably in the 7th or 8th grade. As far as I can remember, it was the song Көзімнің қарасы by the great Abay.
Опять же, да, оглядываясь назад. Тогда я ее, естественно, исполняла чисто технически.
Back then, of course, I performed it purely technically. It was during the Abay song competition. My teacher told me, since you play the guitar, learn this song. So I learned it and sang it. I even received some prizes. Well, firstly, what can you expect from a teenager? What level of awareness or depth of feeling can they have about any song? And my attitude toward this song changes with each passing year. I became interested in its historical context. Who was the author of this song? What's its significance? Then I began to notice how people reacted to this song, and I realized that it's one of the most beloved songs in Kazakhstan. It is a folk song, and behind such songs lie time and history. Once I was talking to an American, and he shared his knowledge on American folk songs. I was surprised to discover that the themes in their songs are exactly the same as in Kazakh folk music. It's all about nature, admiration for the beauty of nature.
Amoureuse dont je casse d'Oudar, et toujours elle chante pour lui, il est sa muse.
В 2019 году вышел альбом «Français à la Kazakh», тогда я работала.
In 2019, my album Français à la Kazakh was released. In this album, 5 Kazakh songs were translated into French. Honestly, it's hard to remember exactly how the idea came about. Perhaps the idea arose when we asked ourselves, is it possible to do this? Can we try? Looking back, I'm very surprised that we succeeded. It's actually a form of musical diplomacy.
Знаете, я, наверное, приведу пример. Я играю в бразильском басине.
You know, I'll give you an example. I've been playing for over 10 years, and at the beginning of last year, I was lucky enough to visit Brazil, and I had a very strange feeling. On one hand, it's a country that's incredibly far from Kazakhstan, and it's a completely different culture. But I had this feeling as if I knew all these names, as if I knew some peculiarities of their mentality and culture. But how do I know this? Thanks to songs, thanks to music. I think this is the perfect example of musical diplomacy, where through music we can learn more about other people and other cultures, and become more tolerant. The same thing is happening now because of Dimash, when people from other parts of the world start singing Kazakh songs, start learning the Kazakh language, and show interest in our country. It's a perfect example of musical diplomacy.
That's it for today. All the main news about Kazakhstan and Central Asia you can find here. More special projects about our country you can also watch on Silkway TV channel. So stay tuned and see you next week.